Episode 3 of Shōgun begins with a tense meeting between Yabushige and Toranaga. Remember, this is in the context of the assassination attempt on John from the previous episode. Toranaga chillingly asks Yabushige about the Society of the Amida. The slain maid is a member of this secretive organization, although Yabushige has no clue what it is. The Lord of the Kanto looks upon his lack of connection suspiciously. It is a despairing moment where Toranaga is desperately looking for an ally when its figures are dwindling all around him. Yabushige reveals Ishido offered him a seat on the council if he sided with him against Toranaga. However, the two men reason out an exchange to remain allies for now. Yabushige gets a large province to increase his fief, while Toranaga gets Yabushige's fidelity and the promise that he will escort John and Lady Kiri to Ajiro. Captain Ferreira is getting anxious with every passing day. Martin maintains that before Toranaga has the opportunity to review the rate of exchange, he will not allow the ship to set sail. However, Ferreira declares that he will do it anyway. Buntaro, Mariko's husband, is responsible for the security of the travelers. Despite his failings as a father and husband from a modern perspective, his skill set is the need of the hour. Buntaro is an admired warrior, in the words of his own wife. As the party prepares to leave, Lady Kirino Kata announces her addition to the list. It is wholly unexpected, but John senses a disguise. Lord Ishido arrives at the gate. According to protocol, when someone from the high society leaves the castle, a day's notice must be given to him. He enforces this rule and asks Jozen, one of his loyal samurai from the clan, to inspect the carriages. John's sense of distraction is spot on, as this is a shenanigan. Shizu, Kiri's daughter who is pregnant, moans in pain to fixate everyone's attention on her. This gives Toranaga and Kiri enough time to exchange their places. Only John and Mariko spot the trickery. Ishida is satisfied and instructs Jozen and the other clan members to join the traveling party. Mariko explains to John that if Toranaga is found out, all the traveling members will be punished with death. They run into a problem at the gates when the keeper requires another round of search despite Ishido's go-ahead. John recognizes the urgency of the situation and, in a bid to further alleviate his position in Toranaga's eyes, raises a clamor about the privacy of women to distract the keepers. Mariko joins in the facade and the danger is averted. As expected, the party is attacked in the woods late at night by Kiyama's men. The regent is himself present to ensure that John is killed. Amid a rain of arrows, both the carriages are set down on the ground as the men take cover behind trees. John runs to Toranaga's aid. The moment his presence comes to the knowledge of his men, there is a renewed sense of duty to protect him. An intense battle breaks out between the two factions. Yabushige escorts Toranaga, John, and Mariko to the shore as Buntaro and other samurai stay back to hold off the enemies. John recognizes some of his former crew lingering around the shores. They help the remaining travelers to board the galley. All except Buntaro make it to the water. The warrior is chased by the entire village, who are hostile after they discover John's presence since they are all Christians. Even though they have time to turn back and John insists they do, Buntaro's life has to be sacrificed. He accepts it with honor and Toranaga responds with the same respect by standing up and acknowledging the act of valor. Mariko is stunned into silence, but there is very little she can do. However, the party turns into yet another trouble. And failure to overcome this could be decisive. Kiyama's mercenaries have created a blockade using boats. The galley will easily sink as they wait in anticipation of killing the heretic. John suggests that the Black Ship, which is setting sail with them despite Toranaga's order, will be able to sustain their attacks. Toranaga boards the ship and offers a deal. Money, permission to trade, and most importantly, a church in Edo. Martin's ears stand up when he hears that and the Portuguese accept his deal. However, they do not allow John to come aboard, leaving him on the galley with a few others. But John is not someone to sit around and wait for his death. His persistence galvanizes the men as he screams at them to row furiously to match Black Ship's pace. To everyone's surprise, the galley almost gets parallel to the ship. Rodriguez, who is piloting the ship, engages in friendly banter with John. But make no mistake, they remain on the opposite sides in this war. Although the threat of Quiyama's men is neutralized, the galley is heading straight for the rocks. Ferreira instructs Rodriguez to crash the galley. But the Spaniard decides not to and slows down, allowing the galley to barely escape with their lives. He does so because John saved his life on the rocks. The debt is finally settled. The ship parts ways with the galley as Toranaga and the rest return to it. Back at the Osaka castle, the regents are at odds. Ishida admonishes Kiyama for his impulsiveness. Since Toranaga was all ready to be executed in a few days, John would not have survived for long either. Now, they have managed to escape and there is no bringing them back. The telling blow to their hollow plan is delivered by Hiramatsu, who declares to the council that Toranaga has resigned. And without his presence, the council cannot take a vote. All 5 must be voting for any decision to hold good. This masterstroke is a hallmark of Toranaga's wits and trickery. The next moves are testimony of his preparedness and Minoara bloodline. He instructs his son to train a new regiment in a gyro and demands John that he teach a new faction his war tactics and use of Western weapons. John knows he has no experience in warfare, but in order to survive, he agrees to do so. Toranaga rewards John's bravery by making him Hatamoto, an honorary rank in the culture. In a private moment, John confides in Mariko that he is running away from his responsibilities as a father and a husband. He hasn't seen his newborn daughter since her birth and doesn't serve a master either. He feels at home in the open seas with no concerns for the day to come. In a lighter and symbolic moment, John teaches Toranaga how to dive. The 2 men also race each other to Edo's shore as they go back home. The episode review. If you thought Shōgun would perhaps not get better, episode 3 delivers a telling blow. The storytelling gathers momentum from the get-go with a very special execution of Toranaga's ruse. Despite its significance in the plot, the build-up is sedate, straying away from theatrics and humming to life with subtlety. It is not after the fact that you truly realize what has materialized, a pattern with the show that says the makers are always 2 steps ahead of us. One of the most interesting aspects of Shōgun till now has been its roots. The production and creative output are steeped in Japan's rich culture and checkered feudal history. The moment between Toranaga and Buntaro is almost unimaginable according to modern standards. These glowing highs are also met with lows like Fuji's tragic circumstance. It is a mixed bag, like you'd find with any other culture or community. Hiroyuki Sanada and Cosmo Jarvis shared great chemistry in the episode. Their characters are steadfast in the realm of alliance, which could soon blossom into friendship, and then, kinship. Along with the layers being peeled off from the plot, these developments in character arcs matter as much.